morning everyone. We're standing here in the Thar Desert in India in the Luni River basin, and I'm going to be speaking today to Dr Manudeo Singh, Royal Society Newton International Fellow. We've got Jayesh Mukherjee, PhD candidate at Aberystwyth University, filming for us today. And we're standing here in a palaeochannel of the Luni River. Establishing the history of the palaeochannels has been part of Jayesh's PhD project. Manu's project is really more concerned with looking at surface water dynamics in the Indian drylands. And the two projects really combine quite nicely in the Luni River basin. So I'm going to ask a few questions to Manu, and he will explain what we think is going on here. So first of all, Manu, we're standing in an arid environment where there's an excess of evapotranspiration over rainfall. Yet we're standing by what looks like a lake. Can you explain how there's so much water in this landscape?
Yeah. So when we think of arid environment, we think everything should be dry, and it should be kind of. But what happening here is we are redefining the water regime or hydrological regime of the area. In last 20-25 years, there have been a lot of canal built, and they are taking water from other rivers, the Nada rivers and few other rivers. They are bringing a lot of water in this desert area, and that's changing the hydrology. So many times what they're doing is they are using these palaeochannels to store the excess water or the overrun water. That is one thing. That's why we're seeing a lot of full channel with full water. And other thing is all the flows that are generating from irrigation. So all that water is also ending up in these low topographic areas.
Okay, so we've got static bodies of water basically resulting from excess irrigation water.
Yeah.
So we've got these water bodies in an arid environment where there's very high evapotranspirative demands. What's the consequence of this surface water storage?
Yeah, one thing is the change in biodiversity. Like the biodiversity was adapted for arid environment. Suddenly and very quickly we are introducing a lot of water in a system that was seeing a very less water, and at interval that was fit for the biodiversity and such things. But there is continuous water in arid area, and it is changing the biogeochemistry of the area. And the results that we are seeing, if Jayesh can pan over there, we can see there are a lot of dead plants everywhere. And other thing is salinity happening in the ground. So if we just see down here,
Some salt crust there.
yeah, so there are some soils covered with salt crusts, and this is forming a film over the soil. So the surface is changing, and in the long run, this will change the geomorphology of the area.
I was going to ask that very question. How does this changing hydrology, changing hydrochemistry, how is that going to affect the geomorphology and land surface dynamics over the longer term?
Yeah. So in arid area, most of the transportation of sediment happens because of alien processes, wind actions. Now we are forming a thin crust of salt everywhere. So it is a cementing, kind of, we are cementing the surface. So that thing will not happen. And in a long run, we will be changing the geomorphology.
Do you think the die-off of vegetation, okay, I understand there's going to be a crust that might help minimise wind action, but why the dieback of vegetation, do you think that will alter the potential for sediment transport under heavy rain when it does occur occasionally in the desert?
Again, here are two things. Like we are a lot of vegetation is being died, and it will expose the surface for wind action and the transportation of sediment by overland water flow. But because of this crust forming over there, that might not happen. That transportation might not happen. So the connectivity is not happening.
Okay. Well, this is obviously a project that's going to run and run and run. Watch this space. It's proving very interesting and a slightly unexpected finding. Well, a completely unexpected finding. Actually, we really didn't come here expecting to find this sort of hydrology. So watch this space, and we'll provide more answers in due course. Thank you.